This is part 2 of the 5-part tutorial on the LP Deal Analyzer. In this part, we will look specifically at the Key Inputs tab, which for all intents and purposes are one of the more important tabs associated with the tool. The Key Inputs tab functions as the so-called hub or brain for the entire sheet in relation to deal-specific evaluation. The first part of the Key Inputs tab contains detailed instructions giving the user a step-by-step guide to familiarize yourself on the how-tos of the sheet. And these instructions are conveniently organized by their associated tabs. Much of the deal-specific information is input here in the Key Inputs tab, and this is designated by any cells highlighted in blue for clarity, as you can see here. Once the manual input sections have been completed, much of this data is then used to auto-populate into all other tabs or sections of the sheet. Now you can see why we call the Key Inputs tab the brains of the entire sheet. As you navigate down the Key Inputs tab, the next heading, entitled Key Additional Documents or Information Used to Ask the Sponsor for, goes over several additional documents that you may want to reach out to the sponsor to get a hold of. These additional documents will help answer some of the criteria questions in the Basic and Advanced tabs that follow. These additional documents are optional, but it is recommended to ask when they are available. The next section, entitled Deal Information and Deal Notes, is the first section, as you can see highlighted in the blue, requires manual input. In this section, you place some basic deal information that can be found in your investment summary. This includes such things as the deal name, the property location, and basic performance metrics of the deal. As you scroll down, the next section is called Deal Analysis and Scoring Summary. This section serves as a snapshot of the basic scoring and performance metrics of the deal using variables that have been calculated from other tabs such as the Basic and Advanced tab, as well as the IRR partition and GP alignment, and consolidates things in one place. The first component of this section looks at the scoring parameters allocated and auto-populated from the Basic and Advanced sheet for this deal, compared to the total possible points. This is then broken down by the three main components of the analysis: the sponsor, the market, and the deal. And this is color-coded by the desired breakdown or the total possible points versus what the points are for this specific deal. The next graph looks at a snapshot of what's called the IRR partition from its associated tab that we will later review in more detail. The IRR partition is an important metric that looks at the return risk profile of the deal in regards to limited partner returns. It is thought that deals that have a fair percentage of the return projections based on cash flow as opposed to the sale or refinance have less risk. We typically look for cash flow portions of the IRR partition over 20 to 25% to decrease deal risk, but the downside of a higher cash flow is often less upside on the deal. The next chart summarizes the GP alignment tab that we will also discuss in more detail later. Here, the chart compares the limited partner versus general partner returns along different changes in net operating income projections, or NOI. A key thing to pay attention to in relation to this graph is where the crossover point is located between the two lines. Where in this deal, you can see that crossover point is roughly at 18% of the net operating income. The next two sections comprise additional manual inputted portions, as you can see highlighted in the blue. These sections are entitled Investor Cash Flow Projections and GP Alignment. This information can be quickly obtained from the investment summary, where one fills in the example cash flow projections of the deal, as well as property assumptions and return metrics that can be also found within the investment summary. In this GP alignment section, you will input salient information related to the deal, such as deal type, which you can select from the drop-down menu here, as well as projected net operating income changes, cap rate assumptions, sponsor fee assumptions, and waterfall projections. All of these variables are used to auto-populate into the GP Alignment tab. The beautiful part of the LP Deal Analyzer is that information contained here is automatically forwarded to both the GP Alignment and IRR Partition tab, which don't require any further manual input, as all the inputs used here will then create charts specifically based on this information. The Key Inputs tab houses the majority of any manual inputs throughout the entire sheet in a single place. This concludes part 2 of the 5-part series.